5:45 in the morning. The alarm hasn't even gone off yet. Your body woke you. Not because you're rested, because something aches. You swing your legs off the side of the bed, plant your feet on the cold floor, and there it is. The stiffness. Your fingers won't close all the way. Your knees grind going down the stairs. Your lower back protests the simple act of standing upright. That first half hour of the day feels like your body is 20 years older than your mind. And by the time you loosen up, after moving around, after the shower, after the coffee, you're fine. But that half hour, it's stealing your mornings. I want to show you something you can make in 2 minutes, keep on your nightstand, and take the moment you wake up, before your feet even hit the floor, that specifically targets that morning joint stiffness. Half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 tablespoon of raw honey, a small dish. Mix them together until you get a thick, reddish-orange paste. That's it. That's the recipe. You can make 3 days' worth at once and keep it covered on your nightstand. First thing when you wake up, before you stand, before you stretch, eat that paste off a spoon. Follow it with a full glass of warm water. Then give yourself 5 minutes sitting on the edge of the bed before you stand. Here's why this specific combination works for morning stiffness and why the timing matters so much. During sleep, your body enters a natural inflammatory repair cycle. Joint tissues that were stressed during the day get attention overnight, but part of that repair process involves inflammation, swelling, fluid accumulation, stiffness. This is normal and healthy. It's your body healing. But the result is that first thing in the morning feeling of being locked up. Capsaicin works as an anti-inflammatory internally. It reduces the production of substance P, the neuropeptide that signals pain and amplifies inflammation at the tissue level. When you take capsaicin first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, it enters your bloodstream quickly. It reaches joint tissue, and it begins modulating that inflammatory signal within about 15 to 20 minutes. That's why the timing matters. You take it before you move, before the stress of walking and bending begins. You give it a head start. And the honey isn't just there for taste, though it makes the cayenne much easier to take first thing in the morning. Honey serves 3 purposes in this combination. First, it coats your empty stomach. Cayenne on a completely empty stomach can sometimes cause a brief burning sensation. The honey provides a protective layer so the capsaicin can pass through without irritation. Second, raw honey has its own anti-inflammatory compounds, enzymes and polyphenols that support the same pathways capsaicin is working on. They're partners, not just roommates. Third, and this one matters more than people think, honey provides a small amount of glucose to your system after the overnight fast, just enough to help your body process and absorb the capsaicin efficiently. Your liver needs a tiny amount of fuel to do its work. The honey provides it. I started doing this, actually, let me think. It was about 18 months ago now, maybe closer to 2 years. I've been waking up stiff for longer than I wanted to admit. Not painful exactly, just tight, restricted. Like everything needed 10 minutes of warm-up before it would cooperate. The first morning I took the cayenne honey paste, I'll be honest, I didn't feel a dramatic difference. Day 2, same. But by day 4 or 5, I noticed I was getting out of bed without the usual groan. My hands could grip the railing without thinking about it. The stiffness was still there, but lighter, shorter, maybe 15 minutes instead of 45. By week 3, the difference was unmistakable. My wife noticed it before I said anything. She asked why I wasn't doing my usual morning shuffle to the bathroom. That was the confirmation I needed that this wasn't imagination. Now let me add something that makes this even more effective. After you take the paste and drink your warm water, sit on the edge of the bed for 5 minutes. During those 5 minutes, open and close your hands slowly, 10 times. Roll your wrists, flex and point your feet. Very gentle, very slow. You're not exercising. You're just telling your joints, we're going to move today. Let's get the fluid circulating. The cayenne is increasing blood flow systemically. Those tiny movements direct that blood flow specifically to the joints you're using. It's a partnership between what you swallowed and what you're doing. 5 minutes, that's all. I want to explain something about why morning stiffness specifically responds to capsaicin. because it's different from general joint pain. Morning stiffness is largely about synovial fluid. Your joints are surrounded by a capsule filled with fluid. That's what allows smooth, painless movement. During the night, when you're still for hours, this fluid settles. It becomes thicker, less evenly distributed. Some of it gets reabsorbed into surrounding tissue. When you wake up, there's less lubrication available until you move and pump fresh fluid back into the joint space. Capsaicin, through its vasodilating effect, increases blood flow to the synovial membrane, the lining that produces this fluid. More blood flow to the membrane means it starts producing fresh fluid sooner. The joints lubricate faster, the stiffness resolves quicker. You're not masking pain, you're actually helping the mechanical process move faster. That's a meaningful difference. A few practical notes. The cayenne you want for this is standard ground cayenne pepper, the kind you'd find in any spice aisle. Nothing fancy, nothing expensive. Just make sure it's not ancient. If it's been in your cabinet for 3 years, it's lost potency. Buy fresh. It's $2. The honey should be raw if possible, meaning it hasn't been heated past a certain temperature during processing. Raw honey retains its enzymes and anti-inflammatory compounds. You'll usually find it at your local farmer's market or in the natural section of your grocery store. It's thicker and cloudier than regular honey. That's how you know it's the real thing. And the warm water you chase it with? Warm, not hot. Think comfortable sipping temperature. The warmth helps your stomach accept the cayenne, and it hydrates you after a full night without water. Your joints need hydration too. Don't skip the water. Important conversation now. When is morning stiffness normal aging, and when is it something that needs medical attention? Normal morning stiffness, the kind this remedy addresses, typically resolves within 30 to 60 minutes of waking and moving. It doesn't come with swelling that you can see. It doesn't come with heat radiating from the joint, and it doesn't get progressively worse week over week. If your joints are visibly swollen in the morning, if they're hot to the touch, if the stiffness lasts more than an hour even after moving, if you're losing range of motion, you could make a fist last month, but you can't now. If the stiffness is accompanied by fatigue, unexplained weight loss, or low-grade fever, these are signs of something that needs diagnosis. Rheumatoid conditions, autoimmune processes, infections, these exist and they need medical care. This remedy is for the everyday kind, the getting older and feeling it in the morning kind. If that's you, try it for 2 weeks. You'll know. One more thing, and I discovered this by accident. If you make this paste with a tiny addition of ground turmeric, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon, and a few cracks of fresh black pepper, you're now combining capsaicin's substance P depletion with curcumin's COX-2 inhibition, enhanced by piperine's bioavailability boost, all in 1 spoonful, on an empty stomach, first thing in the morning. I realize that sounds like a lot of science for a spoonful of paste, but that little spoonful is working on multiple inflammatory pathways simultaneously. That's why it's more effective than any single ingredient alone. 1/2 teaspoon cayenne, 1/4 teaspoon turmeric, few cracks black pepper, 1 tablespoon raw honey. Mix. Nightstand. Spoon. Warm water. 5 minutes on the edge of the bed. Then stand up and see how different the morning feels. If you're here for the first time, this channel is for you. For people who wake up stiff, who feel it in their joints, who want something natural and real they can do themselves. We're here every week with something new. If this lands with you, subscribe. Not because I'm asking for numbers, because next week might be the one that changes your mornings completely, and I don't want you to miss it. Your mornings deserve to be easier. They can be, starting tomorrow.